On January 12, 2020, the Nanchang destroyer or missile cruiser with hull number 101 became operational in the Chinese Navy. It is the lead Type 055 warship with a full displacement estimated at 10,000 tons. China now has 8 Type 055 destroyers in active service. These 8 vessels are assigned to the Northern Command and Southern Command of the People's Liberation Army Navy or Chinese Navy. The main role of the Type 055 destroyers is to provide both Chinese carriers, the Liaoning CV-16 and the Shandong CV-17 with a robust area air defense capability. They act in a similar way to how the US Navy is using the Ticonderoga-class cruisers as the air defense commanders for carrier strike groups. When operating outside carrier groups, Type 055s can also act as flagships for surface action groups, providing command and control function for other destroyers and frigates. Recently, Yevmenov, Commander-in-Chief of the Russian Navy, came to China to discuss maritime military cooperation with China. After the talks, the Commander-in-Chief of the Russian Navy did not go back home, but immediately went to Qingdao and Shanghai to visit China's military shipyards. In particular, the Russian flag was hoisted on China's Type 055 10,000-ton destroyer, and the visit of Commander-in-Chief Yevmenov was welcomed with top-level etiquette. This seems to mean that Russia is very interested in China's naval warships, which is arousing people's imagination. So, is it possible for Russia to import China's naval warships? From the current point of view, it is very necessary for the Russian Navy to do this. And the possibility of this is very high. The large warships currently equipped by the Russian Navy, such as the cruiser Peter the Great, have a displacement of more than 10,000 tons, but their weaponry and electronics are too backward. Compared with China's 055 destroyer, it is a whole era behind. On the other hand, Russian shipyards are responsible for repairing the Kuznetsov aircraft carrier. After several years of repairs, they have not been repaired, and the technical level has fallen behind the mainstream countries in the world. Let's take a look at the new warships that Russia has built in recent years. The largest is the 22,350 frigate, such as the frigate Gorshkov. However, in terms of construction speed and quantity, the Russian army has no way to quickly build a large fleet because it has no money, no technology, and no one. Therefore, if China can help build it, the speed will be much faster. Maybe China's number of aircraft carriers is not enough, and it is not possible to sell them back to Russia at present. However, there are 3 types of warships that we can quickly complete the construction in a short period of time and provide them to the Russian brothers. The 3 warships are the Type 055 10,000-ton destroyer, the Type 054A destroyer and the Type 075 amphibious assault ship. The Type 055 10,000-ton destroyer is now recognized as the most advanced 10,000-ton destroyer in the world. The US military's stealth destroyer is too advanced and has failed. Although the Berg-class destroyers of the US military have undergone many improvements, they cannot keep up with the 055 level in terms of dual-band radar and other technical aspects. Therefore, the Type 055 10,000-ton destroyer has no rivals in the world. If the Russian army can import 055 Type 10,000-ton destroyers, it can use this class of warships as flagships. The second one is the Type 054A destroyer. Its tonnage is similar to that of the Russian Type 22,350 destroyer, and its combat system is also relatively compatible. What's more, our foreign trade model 054 app has been handed over to Pakistani brothers. Due to the mature technology, the construction period is very short. As long as the Russian side is willing, we can immediately meet the needs of the Russian brothers, build a 054A frigate fleet, and improve the overall technical and tactical level of the Russian Navy. Of course, the most serious problem for Russia now is not military, but economic. We and our Russian brothers are complementary in terms of trade. Russia has oil and natural gas, but we are short of oil and natural gas, and have no shortage of weapons and equipment. Therefore, China and Russia can adopt the method of barter, agree in advance how much natural gas or oil a warship needs, sign a contract, and start trading immediately. In this way, we can obtain much-needed oil and natural gas. And the Russian Navy can also obtain the world's top advanced warships to strengthen the strength of the Russian Navy and achieve the best of both worlds. Speculation is rife about whether the US Navy's recently unveiled concept of a next-generation destroyer DDG-X is based on China's Type 055 guided missile destroyer. The Type 055 guided missile destroyer has been dubbed the world's most lethal warship by Chinese state media. It is 180 meters long and 20 meters wide. Nanchang 101, the first Type 055 ship, was launched in June 2017 and entered service in January 2020. Since then, 7 more have been built in Dalian and Shanghai. In August of 2020, the 7th ship was launched. The Type 055's VLS has lesser cells than the Ticonderoga classes. As compared to Ticonderoga's 122 VLS, the Type 055 possesses roughly 112 VLS. The weapon loadout, on the other hand, is very different because it must be customized to the user's specifications. The HQ-9 long-range surface-to-air missile, as well as the HQ-16 medium-range SAM and potentially a quad-packed DK-10As, are all aboard the Chinese ship. The DK-10A is based on the PL-12 and would be deployed as an intermediate-range air defense missile similar to the US Navy's RIM-162 evolved Sea Sparrow missile. Similarly, the Chinese U-8 anti-submarine missile is comparable to the US Navy's VL ASROC. Chinese ships prioritize anti-surface warfare, and they use the YJ-18 supersonic anti-ship missile. The harpoons of the Ticonderoga class are dwarfed by these enormous, powerful missiles. The American harpoons can only be transported in groups of 8, but the Chinese ships are said to be capable of transporting a huge number of YJ-18s. There is an even wider difference in weapons in the anti-ballistic missile ABM arena. The US Aegis ships can carry the RIM-161 SM-3 missile, which can intercept medium-range ballistic missiles. China does not have such weapon systems. Nevertheless, both the ships have distinct features to serve their respective requirements. Speculation is rife about whether the US Navy's recently unveiled concept of a next-generation destroyer DDG-X is based on China's Type 055 guided missile destroyer. Whether the US actually copied the Chinese Type 055 design or the similarities are overhyped could only be clarified by the American Navy.